chosen one. Pause for a moment and still your spirit, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary. This is a divine appointment, a supernatural interruption, a prophetic summons released in perfect timing. You did not find this message by accident. Heaven pulled you into it. Chosen one. You have walked through a waiting season, through delays, through spiritual warfare and financial resistance that felt unfair, but none of it was punishment. It was preparation. Heaven has been shaping you, refining you, and positioning you for what comes next. And now, anointed one, you are standing at the very edge of a supernatural breakthrough. A shift is unfolding. A divine wealth transfer is moving toward you. What resisted you is about to release you, and what was withheld is about to be delivered. As it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, "Though the vision tarry, wait for it. For it will surely come, it will not delay." Your appointed time has arrived. You were not created to simply rise, you were created to reign. Wealth is your calling, money is your mantle, breakthrough is your destiny. Chosen one, open your spirit. Your transformation begins now. Chosen one. Before wealth ever touches your hands, heaven first awakens your identity. There is a moment when something deep within you begins to rise, an inner knowing that refuses to be silenced. It is not arrogance, not wishful thinking, but a divine recognition, your spirit, remembering what God wrote about you before you entered this world. You begin to notice that you do not think like the people around you. You do not feel comfortable shrinking, settling, or pretending to be ordinary. Even as a child, you sensed there was something different about you, something unexplainable that set you apart. While others saw limitation, you instinctively saw possibility. While others accepted lack as normal, you felt an inner resistance, as if your soul rejected anything that contradicted the abundance God designed for your life. That resistance was not rebellion, it was revelation. It was heaven whispering, you were never meant to live beneath your calling. Chosen one. I've learned through my own journey that identity is not discovered, it is remembered. Somewhere between life's battles and responsibilities, many forget who they truly are, but not you. Even in your lowest moments, something inside refused to die. When life tried to crush you, a part of you stood back up again, stronger, clearer, more determined. That resilience was not taught, it was planted. It is the evidence that you carry a spiritual mantle, a divine assignment on your life. You feel it in the way you think, in the way you dream, in the way you carry burdens that others ignore. Heaven has marked you, and your identity has been quietly awakening, pulling you toward a future greater than anything your family has ever seen. There were times you questioned yourself. You wondered why you could never accept just enough when everyone else seemed comfortable with it. You wondered why mediocrity irritated your spirit, why survival never felt like your true home. The truth is simple, but powerful. Abundance is not a desire for you. Chosen one, it is your DNA. God encoded wealth, influence, and spiritual authority into your identity long before you were born. And every time you tried to dim that identity, life became heavier, tighter, more suffocating, because you were never designed to fit into smallness. You were crafted for elevation. Chosen. One, heaven has been awakening your identity through restlessness, through dreams that feel too big for your environment, and through a sense of responsibility that seems heavier on you than on anyone else. Yet even in all of this, there is peace, a quiet inner confirmation that tells you, this is who I am, this is what I was created to carry. It is the same confirmation the prophets felt before their calling manifested, the same stirring described in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, when God said, "Before I formed you, I knew you." You feel known even when you cannot fully explain yourself to others. You feel chosen even when your circumstances have not yet aligned with your destiny. You feel called even when you cannot see the full path ahead. This identity awakening is not random. It is the first sign that heaven is preparing you for something extraordinary. Your spirit is being recalibrated to recognize wealth not as luxury, but as assignment. You are beginning to see money not as paper, but as purpose. You feel the shift from "I want abundance" to "I was created to steward abundance." And chosen one, that shift is holy. It is the point where identity merges with destiny, where heaven begins to unveil the truth of who you really are. And now that your spirit is awakening, now that the old identity is shedding and the true one is rising, heaven is ready to show you why this awakening began in the first place. Because chosen one, what comes next will shift your spirit. Chosen one. Every destiny carrier walks through a waiting season, but yours has been unlike anything the people around you could ever understand. While others seem to move forward effortlessly, your path has felt slower, heavier, marked by delays that made no logical sense. You have questioned yourself, questioned your timing, even questioned whether God still remembered you. Yet deep within, even in the most silent moments, there remained a whisper, faint but undeniable, telling you that the delay was not denial. It was design. The waiting season you endured was not wasted time. It was divine time. I have lived long enough under heaven's instruction to learn that God rarely elevates someone quickly. Quick elevation produces weak roots. Sudden success births fragile character. But you, anointed one, were not created for temporary elevation. You were crafted for generational impact. And because of this, heaven had to prepare you differently. Your waiting season was not a pause, it was a furnace, a shaping ground, a spiritual classroom where God taught you what abundance truly requires. While others were running, you were being refined. While others were chasing opportunities, heaven was building you into someone who opportunities would one day chase. Chosen. One, think back to all the moments when nothing seemed to move. You prayed, you planned, you pushed forward, yet everything remained still. Doors stayed shut. People overlooked you. Finances dried up. Connections fell apart. It was as if life itself pressed pause. But what you perceived as inactivity was actually divine precision. Heaven was aligning the timing, the circumstances, and your inner posture. Had the blessing arrived then, before the lessons, before the maturity, before the strengthening of your discernment, you would not have been able to carry it. Not because you lacked worth, but because destiny requires weight-bearing capacity. There were days when you asked, "Why me? Why does everything take longer for me?" But the truth, chosen one, is that the higher the calling, the deeper the preparation. The longer the journey, the greater the destination. Your waiting season was heaven's way of ensuring that when abundance reaches your hands, it will not destroy you, but establish you. And, as painful as it felt, God was actually protecting you from premature exposure from the wrong people, from opportunities that looked like blessings but were actually traps. Many around you received things quickly, only to lose them just as fast. But you were being prepared to hold your blessing permanently. Anointed one, notice how the waiting shaped your character. You learned patience, not the passive kind, but the spiritual discipline that teaches you how to trust heaven's rhythm. You learned humility, not the kind that weakens you, but the kind that grounds you in purpose. You learned discernment because you saw people's true intentions when you had nothing to offer them. You learned discipline because in seasons of lack, you were forced to strategize, to grow, to think differently. And you learned resilience because every delay strengthened the parts of you that would one day be responsible for stewarding wealth, influence, and a divine legacy. Many do not realize this, but waiting is one of heaven's highest forms of training. When God is silent, He is sculpting. When heaven holds back, it is preparing to release more than you asked for. Your waiting season taught your hands how to hold blessing without trembling. It taught your heart how to remain steady when provision comes. It taught your spirit how to recognize God, not just in the breakthrough, but in the quiet spaces where nothing seemed to change. And the chosen one is the mark of someone destined for greatness. Consider this spiritual truth. Every delay you experienced was actually alignment. What looked like lost time was preparation. What felt like stagnation was sacred construction. You were not being punished, you were being positioned. The waiting season forced you to confront parts of yourself that needed healing. It exposed wounds that abundance would have magnified. It refined your motives so that your desire for wealth would not corrupt your purpose, but amplify it. Heaven stretched your capacity because your calling requires influence, resources, and spiritual authority. And let me share something as someone who has walked through years of divine delay. The blessing that arrives after a waiting season always feels different. It carries weight. It carries meaning. It carries purpose. It carries the fingerprints of God. You will not enter abundance carelessly. You will enter it with clarity, with gratitude, with reverence. You will not misuse wealth, you will steward it. You will not fear opportunity, you will recognize it as heaven's orchestration. You will not shrink back. You will rise into what God has prepared for you with the confidence of someone who has survived the wilderness. This is why you could not skip the waiting season. This is why shortcuts never felt right to you. This is why every rush solution collapsed. Heaven was saying, "Not yet, because I am building something in you that cannot be rushed." Chosen one. Something else happened in those quiet years. Your spiritual frequency sharpened. You began to sense when something was off. You felt nudges, inner warnings, divine impressions. You became spiritually sensitive because the calling on your life requires discernment at a higher level. Wealth is not just resources, it is responsibility. And God needed your spirit to mature before your bank account could expand. You may not have realized it before, but the waiting season transformed you into someone heaven can trust. That is the true breakthrough. And now the signs of completion are appearing. Your spirit feels different. Your thoughts feel clearer. Your hunger feels deeper. Your purpose feels closer. And chosen one. The meaning behind everything you endured is about to reveal itself. Chosen one. There comes a moment in every divine journey when the confirmation you seek no longer comes from the outside world, but from within your own spirit. Long before doors open publicly, heaven whispers privately. Before the breakthrough manifests in your hands, it resonates in your chest. And you, anointed one, have been feeling that inner stirring, an unexplainable sense that something significant is drawing near. It's not anxiety, not wishful thinking, not imagination. It is alignment. It is spiritual recognition. It is your destiny calling you by name. For years, you have asked God for a sign. You have prayed for clarity, begged for direction, and searched for reassurance from people who could never see what heaven was doing in you. But the deeper you stepped into your journey, the quieter God seemed, until all you had left was the faint echo of a knowing that wouldn't go away. And that knowing, chosen one, is the purest confirmation of all. The enemy can imitate opportunities, disguise distractions as blessings, and whisper lies into the mind, but he cannot counterfeit divine knowing. That inner certainty is something only heaven can plant. Internal confirmation is not loud. It does not shout. It hums. It pulses. It breathes through your intuition, through the way you suddenly outgrow environments, through the way familiar places no longer feel like home. You start noticing subtle shifts. Your desires change, your values sharpen, your awareness heightens. You begin sensing when something is off, even before seeing the evidence. You feel drawn to growth and repelled by stagnation. You find yourself dreaming bigger, even when your reality hasn't changed yet. That shift is not coincidence. It is prophecy unfolding internally before it unfolds externally. Chosen one, think of all the times you tried to convince yourself to settle, but your spirit wouldn't let you. Think of the moments you pretended everything was fine, yet something inside whispered, "This is not your final place." Think of how often you felt an invisible pull away from the familiar, not because it was bad, but because you had outgrown it. That discomfort was divine confirmation. Growth rarely feels good, but it always feels necessary. Heaven was quietly telling you, where you are is not where you will remain. I've seen this pattern many times and I've lived it myself. Before God changes your surroundings, He changes your sensitivity. Before He shifts your circumstances, He shifts your spirit. Internal confirmation always precedes external manifestation. And in your life, chosen one, those internal signs have been multiplying. You're no longer satisfied with conversations that drain you. You feel spiritually allergic to environments that lack purpose. You sense when someone's intentions are not aligned with your journey. You catch yourself dreaming about a life that feels too big for your current situation, but somehow it doesn't scare you anymore. It feels familiar, like a memory of your future. This internal confirmation shows up in unexpected ways. Sometimes it's a sudden peace about a decision you were once unsure of. Sometimes it's the disappearance of fear in areas that used to terrify you. Sometimes it's a quiet courage rising in you, urging you to step out, even when you don't have all the pieces. And sometimes it's simply a persistent voice, soft but clear, that says, "Keep going. Something is coming." Chosen one. Have you noticed how your spirit reacts differently now? When something is aligned with your destiny, you feel expansion, lightness, clarity, strength. But when something is misaligned, you feel contraction, heaviness, confusion, restlessness. This is spiritual intelligence. It is heaven's way of guiding you without needing to speak audibly. Discernment is one of the rarest gifts a person can develop, and yours has grown sharper because of your waiting season, your wounds, and your wisdom. Internal confirmation often reveals itself through divine dissatisfaction. This is when everything in your external world appears normal, but something inside feels unfinished. You begin to sense that more is coming, even when the evidence has not yet appeared. It's the same feeling Joseph carried when he dreamed of greatness while living in obscurity. The same stirring David felt while tending sheep, long before he ever held a crown. Heaven always plants the identity before it reveals the assignment. And chosen one, heaven has planted something profound within you. You feel it every time you envision a life greater than your upbringing. You feel it when you imagine wealth not just as success, but as a tool for purpose. You feel it when you dream of breaking generational patterns, elevating your family, and creating a legacy that outlives you. That desire did not originate from ego. It originated from eternity. Dreams that big are not human, they are divine signals. There is also another layer to this internal confirmation, the increasing clarity about what no longer belongs in your life. You are beginning to sense which relationships cannot go with you into your next season. You feel which habits must be released, which environments must be left behind, and which mindsets no longer serve your assignment. This may feel painful, but it is necessary. When God prepares to elevate someone, He often separates them first, not to isolate them, but to insulate them. Chosen one. Listen closely. The confirmation in your spirit is heaven's way of telling you that your season is shifting. You are no longer who you used to be. Your spirit has matured. Your purpose has intensified. Your discernment has strengthened, and your capacity for abundance has expanded. That inner stirring is not a warning, it is an announcement. It is the signal that everything you endured, everything you learned, everything you survived has not been in vain. What you feel inside is alignment with what heaven has already written. You are catching up to your calling. You are awakening to your identity. You are sensing your assignment. And though nothing in your external world may reflect it yet, your spirit knows the truth. You are on the brink of something vast, something divine, something life-altering. Anointed. One internal confirmation is heaven's first knock on the door of manifestation. And chosen one. The next knock will shake the ground beneath your feet. Chosen one. There is a moment in every destiny journey when heaven's timing begins to reveal itself, not through signs in the sky, not through dramatic miracles, but through a sacred shift in how your life begins to align. Divine timing is one of the greatest mysteries of God, yet one of the clearest proofs that your steps are being ordered. You have waited, endured, prayed, questioned and persevered, but now something deeper is occurring. The clock of heaven is striking a new hour, and your spirit has already begun to feel the vibration of that transition. Divine timing is not simply about events happening at the right time. It is about you becoming the right person for what heaven has already prepared. Chosen one, think about how many times you tried to force something before its time. You pushed doors that refused to open. You chased opportunities that slipped through your hands. You held on to relationships that were never meant to stay. Every time you tried to rush destiny, it resisted you not because you were unworthy, but because heaven was protecting the timing. Imagine if the blessing had come when you were still insecure, still uncertain, still carrying wounds that would have sabotaged your elevation. Imagine if abundance had arrived when you didn't yet know how to steward it. Divine timing withheld certain things to preserve your calling, not punish your desire. I've walked through seasons where I pleaded with God to accelerate my journey, only to look back later and thank Him for every delay. Because delay is not denial, it is development. It is God aligning the unseen pieces, preparing the people you will one day meet, arranging circumstances that need to shift, and maturing you so that when the blessing arrives, you don't crumble under its weight. Divine timing is heaven's way of saying, I am preparing everything around you while preparing everything within you. And chosen one, that work is holy. You may not see all the details, but your spirit has felt the shift. There is a new boldness in you, a fresh clarity, a sense of readiness that didn't exist in past seasons. Things that used to overwhelm you no longer frighten you. Challenges that once broke you now strengthen you. You think differently, you move differently, you discern differently. This is what divine timing feels like, an internal maturity catching up with an external promise. Chosen one. Have you noticed how certain things are beginning to fall away effortlessly? People who once occupied central spaces in your life have drifted. Old desires have dissolved. Outdated mindsets are losing their hold. This clearing is not random. God removes what cannot survive the next season. Nothing leaves your life accidentally, not the friendships, not the jobs, not the habits, not the opportunities that once looked promising but suddenly fell apart. Divine timing dismantles everything that was built on the wrong foundation. And then, without warning, alignment begins. The right conversations appear. The right opportunities resurface. The right ideas come alive. The right connections cross your path. You begin to meet people who carry keys to doors you didn't know existed. This is the orchestration of heaven, a divine choreography where every step, every interaction, every shift is intentional. You are not stumbling into your destiny. You are being guided into it. There were times you wondered why others were moving faster than you, why their breakthroughs came easily while yours required suffering, prayer, fasting, and tears. But, chosen one, what God builds slowly, He establishes permanently. Their elevation may have been quick, but yours will be secure. Their blessing may have been exciting, but yours will be enduring. God was not preparing you for a moment. He was preparing you for a mantle. Speed was never the goal. Strength was. Divine timing is also revealed through sudden acceleration. After long seasons of stillness, life can shift in a matter of days, sometimes even hours. One phone call, one opportunity, one divine meeting, one open door. Suddenly, everything that was stagnant moves. Everything that was withheld flows. Everything that was delayed accelerates. This is the nature of God's timing. Nothing happens, nothing happens, nothing happens, then everything happens at once. Chosen one, that is why you had to wait. Because when God moves, He moves completely. Have you ever felt like you were on the edge of something, even when your circumstances didn't show it yet? That sense of anticipation is the spiritual symptom of divine timing. Heaven always announces the shift internally before revealing it externally. You begin feeling ready without knowing why. You begin sensing closure even before things end. You begin feeling drawn towards something new before you know what it is. That pull is not confusion, it is calling. And chosen one, when heaven decides it is time, nothing can stop what follows. Not opposition, not spiritual warfare, not generational limitation, not self-doubt, not fear. Divine timing carries divine protection. It creates pathways where none existed. It unlocks resources you didn't have access to. It aligns people who were not even thinking about you before. Because when God declares now, all of creation responds. This is why Scripture says in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 that the vision will not delay. When the appointed time comes, it manifests, it materializes, it becomes unstoppable. And chosen one, whether you see it or not, your appointed time is drawing near. You feel it in your restlessness. You feel it in your desire for more. You feel it in the way God has been pruning your life of everything that cannot go forward with you. Your waiting season was long, but your reaping season will be greater. Heaven always compensates in abundance for the years you thought were wasted. Every tear, every battle, every loss. Divine timing redeems it all. You are stepping into a chapter where delays become testimonies, where setbacks become strategies, where pain becomes power. Chosen one, destiny is not late. Heaven is right on schedule, and what is approaching your life now is not gradual, it is monumental. Chosen one. Every soul born into this world carries a purpose, but not every soul carries a calling. Purpose is universal. Everyone exists for something. But calling is divine. Only a few are marked to shift the direction of their family, their generation, and even the spiritual atmosphere around them. And you, anointed one, have felt since childhood that your life would not follow the common path. You sensed you were different, not because you were better, but because heaven placed a mantle on you long before you understood what a mantle was. Destiny was not something you discovered, it was something you awakened into. Chosen one calling begins as a discomfort. It is the subtle ache you feel when you try to shrink yourself to fit in. It is the irritation that rises when you attempt to accept a life beneath your potential. It is the heaviness that sits on your chest when you imagine yourself settling. That discomfort is the voice of your calling, refusing to let you abandon who you were created to be. Most people ignore that voice. They silence it with routine, fear, or complacency. But you could not silence it, no matter how hard you tried. It followed you into every job, every relationship, every season, whispering, "There is more for you." Your calling reveals itself through vision. Others dream of survival, you dream of impact. Others pursue comfort, you pursue greatness. Others accept what is, you question what could be. This higher vision does not come from ego, it comes from insight. It comes from the Spirit. It comes from a knowing that you were not placed on this earth simply to earn, spend, and die. You were placed here to build, to transform, to elevate, to break the cycle of lack and limitation that has held your lineage captive for generations. Anointed one calling is not glamorous. Before God uses you, He unsettles you. Before He elevates you, He isolates you. Before He promotes you, He prunes you. You have walked through seasons where God removed people you once depended on, closed doors you thought were essential, and stripped away identities you had built around survival. This was not abandonment. It was preparation. Heaven was removing every weight that would have sabotaged your assignment. Calling requires capacity, and God expanded yours through every trial, every heartbreak, every sacrifice. Think back to the moments when life broke you open, the losses that shook your foundation, the betrayals that cut deeper than words, the disappointments that made you question whether God still saw you. Chosen one. Those were not punishments, they were initiations. Every calling comes with a breaking, not to destroy you, but to prepare the vessel for greater oil. Your anointing increased in the very places where you thought you were being weakened. Your capacity expanded in the moments where you felt yourself collapsing. Your spirit strengthened in the seasons where you felt the most alone. Heaven trains destiny carriers differently, and while you walked through these shadows, something remarkable happened. You developed compassion, true compassion. The kind that sees beyond the surface. The kind that understands pain, yet still believes in transformation. This compassion is one of the strongest signs of calling. God does not elevate hardened hearts. He elevates purified ones. You learned to feel deeply without being destroyed by your feelings. You learned to love without losing yourself. You learned to discern motives without becoming cynical. That emotional intelligence is part of your mantle. It will guide you in stewarding wealth, influence, and legacy with wisdom and grace. Chosen one calling always aligns with contribution. The vision you carry is not just about elevating yourself, it is about elevating everyone connected to you. Your dreams are not selfish, they are generational. You think about how to break financial limitations, how to create opportunities, how to build something your children and your children's children can stand upon. This is not normal thinking. This is mantle thinking. This is spiritual leadership disguised as ambition. You've always seen money differently. not as something to hoard, but as something to harness. Not as a symbol of status, but as a tool of stewardship. Not as a measure of worth, but as a vehicle of assignment. That perspective is not learned, it is revealed. Heaven appointed you as a vessel through which abundance will flow, not stop. You are not meant to be a reservoir, you are meant to be a river. And here is the truth: few understand calling always demands sacrifice. While others lived freely, you lived consciously. While others wasted time, you studied, prayed, envisioned, and prepared. While others chased validation, you chased alignment. While others settled, you pushed. While others repeated patterns, you broke them. You paid a price that others could not see, and that price is the foundation of your rising. Chosen. One purpose explains why you exist, but calling explains why you cannot quit. There were moments when you tried to walk away from your dreams, yet something pulled you back. You attempted to silence your gifts, yet they resurfaced. You tried to live small, yet your spirit rebelled. This is how heaven marks its chosen. Calling refuses to release you until you step fully into it. Now your spirit has matured. Your vision has sharpened. Your character has developed. The pain you endured has become wisdom. The battles you fought have become authority. The seeds you planted in tears are now ready to bloom in power. Heaven does not give calling without granting capability. Everything you have walked through has equipped you for everything you are walking into. And chosen one. Your calling is not just to succeed, it is to shift the atmosphere of your bloodline, to disrupt generational poverty, to establish abundance as the new standard, to restore what was lost, to build what was never built, and to become the wealth bearer Heaven has appointed for your lineage. Your calling is awakening, your purpose is rising, and chosen one, what God is about to reveal next, will ignite your spirit in a way you have never experienced before. Chosen one. There comes a point in your spiritual journey when wealth stops being an idea, a desire, or a hope, and becomes a mantle placed upon your life by divine instruction. A financial mantle is not ordinary provision. It is not random success. It is not accidental opportunity. It is heaven's declaration that you have been entrusted with resources for a purpose far greater than personal comfort. And whether you realize it fully yet or not, a financial mantle has already begun to activate over your life. This activation didn't start when money appeared. It began long before that, when your thinking shifted. When you stopped seeing wealth as something distant and started seeing it as part of your identity. When you realized you were not called to escape poverty, you were called to dismantle it. When you started discerning the difference between having money and stewarding money. That shift. Chosen one was the spark of a financial mantle awakening inside you. A mantle carries weight. And that is why your journey felt heavier than others. Many people carried dreams. You carried responsibility. Many hoped for blessings. You knew instinctively that blessings come with obligations. While others prayed simply for increase, something inside you prayed for impact, for purpose, for legacy. That is how heaven marks those destined to carry financial authority. You feel the burden long before you see the blessing. Anointed one, look back at your life for a moment. Notice how money has always played a significant spiritual role in your story. Notice how often you were tested in financial areas. Notice how many times you had to survive lack and still maintain faith. Notice how disciplined you became when resources were scarce. These were not random hardships. They were divine conditioning. God tests the vessel before he fills it. He shapes the heart before he expands the hands. Every financial struggle you endured sharpened your ability to steward abundance with wisdom and humility. Some people collapse when money comes. Others become arrogant. Others become reckless. But you, chosen one, were forged differently. You learned gratitude in scarcity. You learned strategy in limitation. You learned discipline when you had no room for error. You learned generosity even when giving cost you something. These lessons formed the spiritual backbone of your financial mantle. God does not release wealth to those who idolize it, fear it, or mishandle it. He releases it to those who have been trained by struggle, purified by waiting, and elevated by purpose. Heaven is not just granting you wealth. Heaven is trusting you with wealth, and trust is far more valuable than money. Chosen one, there is something sacred about how your relationship with money has evolved. You no longer chase it, you attract it. You no longer crave it, you understand it. You no longer worship it, you command it. Money in your life is shifting from master to instrument, from desire to destiny, from earthly possession to spiritual assignment. A financial mantle affects how you think. While others seek short-term gain, you think about long-term impact. While others dream of comfort, you dream of creation. While others fear risk, you feel called to build. This visionary thinking is divine. It cannot be taught. It is placed. It is imparted. It is inherited spiritually from a realm beyond what your family has ever known. Many in your bloodline feared money. Others mismanaged it. Others were destroyed by it. But you uniquely, undeniably were chosen to break that cycle and create a new financial lineage. You are the redefiner, the restorer, the generational interrupt. You are the one who will establish wealth consciousness where there was once scarcity conditioning. That shift alone is evidence of the mantle upon you. Chosen one heaven is activating this mantle in stages. It begins internally with vision, discipline, resilience. Then it moves into alignment with opportunities, open doors, divine connections. And then, at the appointed time, it manifests externally with sudden elevation, supernatural resources, unexpected favor, and opportunities perfectly designed for your skill, your purpose, and your calling. But make no mistake, when a financial mantle activates, warfare intensifies. The enemy does not attack people with no future. He attacks those with a destiny to disrupt darkness. That is why you experienced financial delays, sabotage, betrayal, and spiritual resistance. The mantle on your life threatened the systems that kept your lineage bound. The moment heaven selected you for generational breakthrough, hell marked you as a threat. But here is the truth that shifts. Everything you survived, every attack. You survived seasons designed to break you. You survived situations that should have drained you. You survived delays meant to discourage you. You survived temptations meant to distract you. And because you survived, your mantle strengthened. Now your spiritual posture has changed. You no longer fear lack, you have mastered it. You no longer fear failure, you have endured it. You no longer fear responsibility, you have grown into it. You no longer fear wealth, you are prepared for it. Financial mantles also bring divine attraction. People begin to sense leadership in you even before you speak it. Opportunities feel drawn to you with no logical explanation. People seek your advice. Ideas flow more frequently. Strategies become clearer. Doors open in unusual ways. This is not coincidence, this is calling. Wealth is not coming to you, it is coming through you. And chosen one, hear this clearly, your financial mantle is not just about money. It is about influence. It is about elevation. It is about territory. It is about the spiritual authority you will carry in the realm of provision. You will fund what others can only dream of. You will build what your ancestors prayed for. You will open doors for those behind you. You will reshape what wealth looks like in your family. Something is awakening in you, a confidence, a clarity, a supernatural readiness. Because heaven is activating the mantle that has always been yours. And chosen one, the signs that this mantle is now ascending in your life will astonish you. Chosen one. There is a sacred moment in every destiny journey when the atmosphere around your life begins to shift subtly at first, then undeniably. These shifts are not randomness, not coincidence, not emotional fluctuation. They are prophetic indicators, signs that heaven is drawing you into a new realm, a higher dimension, a breakthrough that has been maturing in silence for years. When a breakthrough is near, your spirit notices before your circumstances do. Your soul begins preparing for what your eyes have not yet seen. One of the first signs is divine restlessness. Not anxiety, not fear, but an awakening inside you that whispers, "I cannot stay where I am." This restlessness is holy. It's the same stirring that moved Abraham to leave his father's house. The same stirring that positioned Joseph for the palace, even while he was still in chains. The same stirring that ignited David before he ever faced Goliath. When breakthrough approaches, God disturbs your comfort. He loosens your attachment to environments that no longer match your next season. You begin to feel out of place in places that once felt familiar. What used to satisfy you now feels too small. What once entertained you now feels empty. This is not dissatisfaction, it is divine preparation. Another sign is accelerated pruning. As you draw near to breakthrough, God begins removing people, habits, and opportunities that cannot survive your elevation. This pruning may feel painful, but it is protection. Some people were meant for your story, but not for your success. Some relationships carried comfort, but not calling. Some environments supported your survival, but not your expansion. Heaven clears the path before it opens the door. When breakthrough is approaching, anything that could sabotage it will fall away, sometimes abruptly, sometimes quietly, but always intentionally. Chosen one. Pay attention to your spiritual sensitivity during this time. You may notice that your intuition sharpens your discernment, heightens your awareness, deepens. You sense things before they unfold. You feel truth behind people's words. You recognize counterfeit offers with increasing clarity. This is God fine-tuning your spirit. A breakthrough requires wisdom, not the wisdom of intellect, but the wisdom of discernment. Heaven will not lead you into abundance without equipping you to protect it. A fourth sign of breakthrough is unusual opposition. The closer you get to your blessing, the more resistance you may feel. Suddenly, old insecurities resurface, unexpected problems appear, and familiar patterns attempt to pull you back. This is because breakthrough disrupts spiritual cycles, cycles of lack, cycles of limitation, cycles of generational bondage. Before these cycles break, they often intensify. But this increase in opposition is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign of proximity. Pressure rises right before breakthrough bursts. Darkness fights hardest just before dawn. Hell reacts fiercely when heaven prepares to elevate someone. And then, chosen one. There are the unexpected confirmations, small moments that feel too precise to be accidental. A sentence someone speaks that echoes exactly what you've been praying. A dream that reveals what your spirit already sensed. A sudden opportunity that aligns perfectly with your purpose. These are divine nudges. Heaven often sends breadcrumbs before revealing the banquet. These confirmations strengthen your faith, reminding you that the unseen realm is moving on your behalf. Another profound sign of breakthrough is the increase in vision. You begin dreaming bigger without trying. You feel inspired in ways you haven't felt in years. Ideas flow naturally. Strategies form effortlessly. You start seeing possibilities that were once invisible. This expansion of vision is a spiritual symptom proof that your future is approaching your present. Breakthrough enlarges your capacity before it enlarges your reality. God stretches your imagination before he stretches your territory. Chosen one. One of the clearest signs of approaching breakthrough is divine acceleration. After long seasons of waiting, things begin to shift quickly, sometimes overnight. Where there was stagnation, there is movement. Where there were closed doors, there are openings. Where there was silence, there is direction. Breakthrough is rarely gradual. It often arrives suddenly, the way harvest arrives after years of growth underground. Divine timing moves in sudden waves, and when the wave comes, you will feel the momentum of heaven pushing you forward. Another subtle yet powerful sign is inner peace. Not the peace that comes from circumstances, but the peace that comes from knowing you are aligned with your calling. Even in uncertainty, you feel anchored. Even in transition, you feel held. This peace is supernatural. It is God's way of saying, I am with you. Keep going. And then there is the sign that reveals itself only to those with spiritual eyes, the shift in how others perceive you. People begin to sense something different about you, even if they cannot explain it. Some may be drawn to you. Others may feel intimidated by you. Some may begin to honor you. Others may distance themselves. Your spiritual frequency rises before your breakthrough manifests, and your presence begins to carry weight. That weight is favor. That weight is authority. That weight is destiny waking up. Chosen one. These signs are not random. They are heaven's way of preparing your spirit for what is approaching. They are signals of divine alignment, indicators that your spirit, your purpose, and your timeline are converging. Breakthrough is not coming, it is forming. It is not distant, it is unfolding. It is not uncertain, it is ordained. And chosen one, when the next sign reveals itself, it will shift everything you thought you knew about divine alignment. Chosen one, when heaven begins aligning your life for elevation, the natural world responds in ways that defy logic. Supernatural alignment is not subtle, it is unmistakable. It is the invisible hand of God arranging people, places, timing, and even your inner world so that everything begins moving in the direction of your destiny. And though your circumstances may not fully reveal it, yet your spirit has already begun to feel the shift. Alignment is a spiritual phenomenon long before it becomes a physical reality. Supernatural alignment begins within. You notice your thoughts becoming clearer, your decisions more intentional, your desires more refined. The things that once distracted you no longer hold power. The addictions that once tempted you lose their influence. The relationships that once drained you no longer feel necessary. This is not random maturity. This is heaven upgrading your internal framework. When God prepares you for abundance, He first aligns your mindset with the level of stewardship required to carry it. And then, chosen one alignment extends into your emotions. You may find yourself unexpectedly calm during situations that once caused chaos. You may notice that your patience has deepened, your wisdom has sharpened, and your reactions have slowed. This inner stability is a sign that your spirit is harmonizing with your destiny. What once triggered you no longer disrupts you because heaven has strengthened your spiritual core. Abundance cannot flow into a spirit that is easily shaken, so God aligns your emotions before He aligns your finances. Supernatural alignment also reveals itself through divine separation. People may step away. Doors may close. Opportunities you once wanted may no longer be available. At first, this can feel like loss, but in the realm of destiny, loss is often protection. God removes what is misaligned, not to diminish you, but to declutter your path. In the same way, a gardener prunes branches to produce better fruit. Heaven prunes your connections to prepare room for what is coming. This pruning is alignment. The absence of the wrong people creates space for the arrival of the right ones. Then comes the synchronicities, the patterns you can't ignore. Repeated numbers, repeated themes in conversations, repeated dreams, repeated inner nudges. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Heaven uses patterns because spiritually awakened souls recognize rhythm. You begin to feel guided in ways that surpass human reasoning. Steps you used to question now feel divinely orchestrated. You begin noticing timing that feels too perfect to be accidental. Encounters happen at the exact moment you need clarity. Resources appear right when you're about to give up. Ideas flow during your quietest moments. This is supernatural alignment, weaving destiny into your everyday life. Chosen one, pay attention to the way certain people begin showing up in your journey. Some will carry wisdom you need. Some will offer opportunities. Some will confirm what heaven has already whispered. Not all will stay permanently, but each is positioned with purpose. God sends people as answers, as bridges, as catalysts. When alignment is active, you won't have to chase connections. Divine connections will recognize you. Your spirit will speak before your words do. Another sign of supernatural alignment is divine discomfort. Certain environments begin to feel too small. Certain routines begin to feel limiting. Certain ambitions begin to feel outdated. You sense yourself outgrowing the identity you once carried. This discomfort is not a sign that you are lost, it is a sign that you have entered transition. Heaven is stretching you into the version of yourself required for what is coming. The shell of who you used to be can no longer contain the calling rising within you. Supernatural alignment also impacts your opportunities. What once felt blocked now begins to flow. Conversations lead to unimaginable possibilities. Your gifts start opening doors. Your voice begins to carry influence. Even challenges shift. What used to break you now strengthens you. What used to confuse you now clarifies you. And what used to slow you now refines your pace. You realize that the obstacles themselves have changed shape because your spiritual stature has increased. Heaven aligns your level of challenge with your level of growth. One of the most powerful manifestations of alignment is the collapse of resistance. The battles that once consumed you fade. The warfare that once exhausted you weakens. The delays that once frustrated you dissolve. This does not mean the enemy stops fighting. It means you stop fighting from a place of survival and begin fighting from a place of authority. When alignment is active, even warfare submits to divine order. Chosen one. Perhaps the clearest evidence of supernatural alignment is the emergence of clarity. You may not have the full picture, but you suddenly know what steps to take. You sense which direction holds favor. You feel drawn toward decisions that once terrified you. Your intuition becomes louder than your fear. Your faith becomes stronger than your doubt. What was once confusing becomes simple, not because the path changed, but because you did. Internal alignment meets external alignment when heaven declares the appointed time. That is when ease replaces struggle, guidance replaces guessing, and flow replaces force. You move differently. You speak differently. You stand differently. Because something in you knows God is working, even if I cannot yet see the full manifestation. And chosen one, when the next layer of alignment unfolds, it will not just move your spirit, it will usher you directly into your divine opportunities. Chosen one. When heaven begins opening the gates of opportunity for you, it never looks like the opportunities you once chased. Divine opportunities are not born from effort alone, they are born from alignment. They arrive not because you forced them, begged for them, or positioned yourself perfectly for them, but because heaven has declared, now is the time. And when that declaration is made in the spiritual realm, the natural realm must obey. Doors open that were once welded shut. Paths appear where there were only walls. People who once overlooked you suddenly recognize your value with unmistakable clarity. This is the realm of divine opportunity, and you are stepping into it. Before divine opportunities manifest, God prepares your sight. You begin to notice solutions where others see only struggles. You begin to see potential where others see impossibility. You begin to recognize blessings in disguise, even when covered in inconvenience or transition. This spiritual sight is essential because divine opportunities often come wrapped in responsibility, challenge, or unfamiliarity. Destiny never appears in the form of comfort, it appears in the form of invitation. And your spirit knows when heaven is inviting you forward. Chosen one. One of the first signs of divine opportunity approaching is that your name begins to circulate in rooms you've never entered. People you have never met begin to speak of you. Those assigned to help you feel a nudge toward you without knowing why. God places your name in the atmosphere of influence before you ever step into the room. This is divine orchestration, your reputation preceding your arrival, because your calling requires preparation. Heaven introduces you before you introduce yourself. Another profound sign is that opportunities begin to feel drawn to you. You are no longer fighting for visibility, for acceptance, or for access. Instead, the right people notice you at the right time. The right conversations find you effortlessly. The right ideas spark at the right moment. This is because divine opportunities are not random chances, they are appointed encounters. They are moments written into your story before you were born, waiting for the season when your spirit would be mature enough to receive them. You may also notice unexpected favor that makes no logical sense. People extend generosity without prior relationship. Systems that once resisted you suddenly make room for you. Processes that should be delayed accelerate unnaturally. This favor is not human, it is supernatural. It is God whispering to the atmosphere, honor this one, elevate this one. For when heaven endorses you, the earth must respond accordingly. Divine opportunities, however, rarely come in familiar packaging. Sometimes they arrive through challenges that require courage. Sometimes they appear through assignments that stretch you. Sometimes they come through connections that feel unexpected. But with each opportunity, there is a spiritual recognition. You know internally, this is mine. Not because it is easy, but because it is aligned. You feel the weight of destiny attached to it. Chosen one. Divine opportunities are also revealed through acceleration. What once took months now takes days. What once seemed impossible now becomes attainable. What once required extraordinary effort now opens with a single decision. This is because divine timing and divine opportunity always walk together. Heaven waits until you are ready, and once readiness meets timing, everything else becomes momentum. There is also the sacred sign of peaceful risk. Not all opportunities feel safe. Some require you to leap into the unknown, to outgrow your comfort zone, to abandon what is familiar for what is divine. Yet, even in these leaps, you feel peace, a supernatural calm that contradicts the magnitude of the decision. Peace in the presence of risk is evidence of God's hand guiding the opportunity. Fear screams, but your spirit whispers, "Move." That whisper is alignment, and obedience to it unlocks realms you never imagined. When divine opportunities approach, distractions multiply. The enemy attempts to send counterfeits disguised as blessings, opportunities that appear attractive but misaligned. This is why discernment becomes your shield. A divine opportunity carries purpose, clarity, and confirmation. A counterfeit opportunity carries confusion, pressure, and instability. You will feel the difference. Heaven-ordained doors strengthen your spirit even before you walk through them. Chosen. One, divine opportunities also come with divine provision. You may not have the full resources before stepping into the opportunity, but heaven releases provision as you move, not before, during. God does not reward hesitation. He rewards obedience. If you take the step, He provides the ground. If you move forward, He releases what is necessary. This is the mystery of faith-driven elevation. Resources follow movement, not the other way around. Most importantly, divine opportunities are connected to destiny, not convenience. They do not simply elevate your life, they elevate your calling. They place you in environments where your gifts are needed, where your voice carries influence, where your presence activates transformation. Divine opportunities are doors that lead to assignment, not distraction. They align you with your higher identity and bring you into relationships that nourish your purpose. And here is the most beautiful truth. Chosen. One, divine opportunities do not compete with one another. They arrive in sequence at perfect intervals, ushering you from one level of calling into the next. Each opportunity prepares you for the one that follows. Each door opens into a larger room. Each elevation increases your capacity to steward wealth, purpose, and influence with spiritual maturity. Chosen one, heaven is aligning opportunities around you even now. Some you can already sense. Some you will soon recognize. And some will arrive so suddenly they will leave you breathless. But all of them will confirm one truth: you are stepping into the life heaven always intended for you. And chosen one. The revelation that follows these opportunities will redefine everything you thought you knew about supernatural wealth. Chosen one. There is a sacred truth that heaven reserves only for those who have endured the refining past, the tests, survived the pruning, and remained faithful in the silence. Wealth transfer is not an idea. It is a spiritual event. It is a divine transaction where heaven shifts resources, influence, and authority from the hands of the unaligned into the hands of the appointed. And you, anointed one, have been positioned for this long before you understood what was happening around you. The seasons that broke you were preparing you. The delays that frustrated you were protecting you. The battles that nearly crushed you were strengthening you. Because what heaven is preparing to release into your life requires a vessel forged in fire. Wealth transfer is not merely financial increase. It is the reallocation of power. It is God repositioning you into the seat of authority that should have belonged to your lineage generations ago. It is heaven declaring that the cycle of lack, limitation, and struggle ends with you. Every chosen vessel in Scripture who carried divine resources, Joseph, Solomon, David, first endured seasons of hidden preparation. You have walked the same path. You were tested in stewardship long before you held abundance. You were tested in humility long before you carried favor. You were tested in character long before you received influence. Chosen one wealth transfer begins in the unseen. At first, it manifests as inner awakening. Your mindset shifts, your vision expands, your understanding deepens. Then it moves into alignment, strategic connections appear, supernatural ideas flow, divine timing accelerates. But the third stage, the one you are approaching now, is manifestation. This is when heaven begins rearranging circumstances in ways that defy logic. People who once overlooked you now recognize your value. Systems that resisted you now open automatically. Opportunities that were impossible suddenly materialize. This is not luck, it is spiritual law. When heaven promotes someone, the earth must respond. Wealth transfer also reveals itself through what many call divine reversal. Situations that were once against you begin working in your favor. What was taken is returned, multiplied. What was delayed is released, accelerated. What was lost is replaced with upgrade. Even the betrayals, losses, and disappointments of your past are rewritten as tools for your elevation. Heaven wastes nothing. Every pain becomes a seed for abundance. Divine reversal is the universe acknowledging your endurance, your obedience, and your faithfulness during the years you walked with nothing but vision. Anointed one. One of the clearest signs that wealth transfer is unfolding is the shift in your financial intuition. You begin sensing what to invest your energy into and what to walk away from. Ideas arrive with divine clarity. Strategies emerge effortlessly. You find yourself understanding money, opportunity, and timing with a wisdom that feels beyond your natural knowledge. This is because wealth transfer requires spiritual intelligence. God will not elevate you into financial authority without empowering your mind to function at that level. Another sign is what I call spiritual redistribution. Resources that belong to the wrong people, those who lived without integrity, who built on manipulation, who used their influence for destruction rather than elevation, begin slipping from their hands. Not because you took anything, but because heaven removed what they were never meant to steward. Wealth transfer is a cleansing of realms. What is misused is reassigned. What is dishonored is redirected. What is corrupted is reclaimed, and you, chosen one, are being positioned as a vessel of restoration. Wealth transfer also manifests through supernatural acceleration of your purpose. Suddenly, everything aligns: your gifts, your opportunities, your visibility, your impact. You begin operating with a level of efficiency that shocks even you. Projects that used to take months can now be completed in days. Doors that once required effort now swing open automatically. The spirit of delay loses its power over your life because wealth transfer breaks cycles, dismantles spiritual resistance, and releases an anointing of speed. Chosen one. Wealth transfer does not simply elevate you, it elevates the atmosphere around you. Those connected to you begin rising, your family begins shifting, your lineage begins healing, your presence begins transforming environments. This is because wealth is not money, it is influence, authority, capacity, and divine reach. When God places wealth on someone, everything attached to them expands. Another profound aspect of wealth transfer is the mantle of responsibility that accompanies it. Heaven is not blessing you merely for personal gain. You are being entrusted with resources to build, to create, to uplift, to transform. Your wealth will open doors for those whose voices were muted. Your success will fund visions that align with heaven's purpose. Your influence will shift environments stuck in cycles of lack. You are not just receiving wealth, you are becoming a steward of kingdom expansion. And here is a truth few are ready to hear: the moment heaven decides to transfer wealth, nothing can stop it. Not generational patterns, not financial history, not spiritual warfare, not societal limitations, not your past. When God says rise, every chain breaks, every limitation dissolves, every barrier collapses. Because your breakthrough is not based on the world's economy, it is based on heaven's decree. Chosen one, feel this in your spirit. You are not stepping into money, you are stepping into mantle. You are stepping into authority. You are stepping into generational transformation. This wealth is not coming by chance, it is coming by calling. And anointed one, what heaven is about to reveal next will shift not just your financial reality, but your entire lineage. Chosen one, every elevation God releases into your life is larger than you. The blessings you are stepping into, the wealth that is aligning with your destiny, the influence being placed upon your name, none of it is accidental, and none of it is meant to stop with you. You were chosen not simply to rise, but to redirect the trajectory of your entire lineage. You are the generational hinge, the turning point between what was and what will be. Heaven has entrusted you with the sacred responsibility of rewriting your family story. For generations, your bloodline has battled limitations, financial hardship, missed opportunities, cycles of survival, dreams that never matured, potential that went unrecognized. But you, anointed one, carry a different blueprint. The spiritual DNA within you is not the same as those who came before. Where they saw walls, you see doors. Where they accepted smallness, you crave expansion. Where they carried fear, you carry vision. This inner divergence is not rebellion, it is revelation. Heaven planted a seed of generational transformation inside you long before you had language for it. Chosen one, think about how early in life you began feeling responsible for things no one your age should have carried. You felt the weight of your family's struggles. You noticed patterns others ignored. You saw potential where others saw inevitability. You felt a quiet responsibility to be the one who changes everything, even when no one said it aloud. This was not pressure of the world, it was purpose from heaven. God was awakening your generational assignment long before the resources, clarity, or opportunities appeared. And now, as wealth transfer and divine alignment move you into higher territory, heaven is revealing the deeper truth: you were chosen to be the anchor of generational stability and the architect of generational abundance. Your rise is not for display, it is for legacy. True wealth is not measured by what you earn, but by what remains after you are gone. Legacy is the spiritual imprint you leave, the systems you build, the opportunities you create, and the chains you break, so your children and their children never face the battles you had to survive. Anointed. One generational purpose always begins with generational separation. That is why you felt out of place in your own family at times. That is why your mindset clashed with theirs. That is why their fears never made sense to you. Heaven was rewiring your thinking so that you could operate from abundance even while living in lack. You became the one who thought differently, dreamed differently, questioned differently, prayed differently. This divergence was divine. It was heaven preparing a leader for a bloodline that had forgotten what leadership looked like. As God elevates you, He is not simply restoring what was lost. He is building something new. You will establish structures your ancestors never imagined. You will create wealth that outlives your lifetime. You will pass down wisdom that prevents future generations from falling into the same cycles. You will shift the spiritual atmosphere of your lineage. Future children will inherit confidence instead of fear, opportunity instead of limitation, clarity instead of confusion. Because one person in the family you said yes to the calling. Chosen. One generational purpose also manifests through generational healing. Wealth without healing becomes corruption. Influence without healing becomes ego. That is why God walked you through painful seasons, not to break you, but to purify the foundation of the legacy you are meant to build. You healed wounds your parents carried. You confronted fears your grandparents never named. You broke spiritual patterns that moved quietly through your family for decades. You became the interruption heaven needed. And do you know what that means? It means your children will never know certain kinds of pain. It means your descendants will inherit possibility instead of bondage. It means you are planting spiritual seeds that will grow into generational fruit long after your name stops being spoken aloud. This is the power of generational calling. It echoes beyond time. Chosen one. Generational legacy also involves stewardship. God is entrusting you with resources not merely to enjoy, but to multiply. You are being given the blueprint of a builder, the insight of a strategist, the sensitivity of a spiritual leader. The decisions you make now, how you invest, how you spend, how you give, how you model faith, will become the unspoken curriculum your descendants live by. You are establishing a new generational culture, one rooted in abundance, wisdom, and divine purpose. Legacy is not a moment, it is a movement, and you are its beginning. You will be the reason a child in your future lineage discovers their calling early. You will be the reason generational fear dissolves. You will be the reason certain doors stay open for decades. You will be the reason your family tree finally grows upward instead of remaining stagnant. Chosen one. Heaven is not just blessing you, it is entrusting you. It is appointing you as the keeper of a divine inheritance. This is why your journey was harder. This is why your lessons were deeper. This is why your battles were stronger. You carry what they could not carry. You will build what they could not build. You will finish what they could not begin. And chosen one. What heaven is preparing to seal over your life next will activate the very core of your destiny. Chosen one. Now that you have walked through awakening, purification, alignment, elevation, and revelation, there remains one final movement in the divine sequence, the prophetic sealing of your destiny. This sealing is not symbolic, it is spiritual law. Heaven does not allow a vessel to step into generational authority, financial mantle, and kingdom purpose without first stamping their calling with divine permanence. You are not just being blessed, you are being established. You are not just entering abundance, you are being anointed to carry it. And this final activation marks the moment when your journey shifts from preparation to manifestation. This sealing begins within you in the quiet place where your spirit meets the breath of God. You may feel a deep peace, a holy certainty, an inner knowing that cannot be explained through logic. This sensation is heaven confirming it is done. All the cycles that once held you are being severed. All the fears that once muted you are being dissolved. All the doubts that once slowed you are losing their authority. This sealing anchors your identity so deeply in your calling that nothing external can shake it again. Chosen. One prophetic sealing is heaven's way of ensuring that your breakthrough cannot be reversed. It fortifies your spirit against future storms, centers your purpose, and charges your calling with divine electricity. You become spiritually magnetized, attracting what belongs to you and repelling what doesn't. Your path becomes clearer. Your decisions become sharper. Your intuition becomes louder. The confusion that once clouded you is replaced with clarity so pure it feels like revelation. This is not your imagination. This is activation. During prophetic sealing, God restores the power that life tried to take from you. The years of insecurity that left scars on your confidence, the betrayals that weakened your ability to trust, the failures that whispered lies about your worth, the disappointments that drained your belief in your own potential. One by one, heaven rewrites them. Pain becomes wisdom. Loss becomes strategy. Delay becomes discipline. Every place where the enemy tried to weaken you becomes the very place God strengthens you. The sealing transforms your wounds into weapons. Anointed One. Prophetic sealing also releases a new authority over your voice. You may find yourself speaking differently, more boldly, more clearly, more prophetically. This is because heaven is activating the sound of your assignment. When a chosen vessel steps into their ordained identity, their voice carries weight. It carries alignment. It carries breakthrough. It carries spiritual resonance that shifts atmospheres. This is why people will begin to listen to you differently. This is why your ideas will start landing with unusual influence. This is why your presence will quiet rooms or awaken purpose in others. You are being sealed for impact. Another dimension of this sealing is the activation of divine protection. When heaven assigns someone to generational rebuilding, the spiritual covering over that person intensifies. You may notice peace in situations that should feel overwhelming. You may feel calm in places where you once felt vulnerable. You may walk through transitions that would have broken the old version of you, yet now you remain unshaken. This is because heaven is not merely guiding you, it is guarding you. Your steps are not just ordered, they are shielded. Chosen. One. Prophetic sealing also ignites your spiritual gifts. Hidden abilities begin awakening. Dormant potential rises to the surface. Creative insight flows. Strategic brilliance emerges. You begin solving problems with unusual clarity, sensing things before they unfold, and receiving ideas that feel too advanced to be your own. This is because sealing unlocks the gifts heaven withheld until your character was prepared and your spirit was mature enough to steward them. And then comes the most profound aspect of this sealing, the official activation of your mantle. Everything heaven has been building in you, identity, resilience, wisdom, vision, discernment, compassion, now converges. You become the vessel heaven has been shaping all along. You become the one chosen to carry wealth, influence, opportunity, and spiritual authority. This mantle is not a reward, it is an assignment. It is not given to those who desire it, but to those who were refined enough to hold it. And you, chosen one, have been refined through fire. Prophetic sealing also marks the beginning of accelerated manifestation. What was once blocked will open. What was once delayed will move. What was once resisted will yield. Heaven cannot seal a destiny and then allow stagnation to remain. Once sealed, your life enters divine flow. Ideas turn into opportunities. Opportunities turn into resources. Resources turn into expansion. Expansion turns into legacy. This flow is not random. It is the momentum of a destiny that can no longer be hindered. Chosen one. This sealing also redefines your relationship with your lineage. You no longer carry their weight, you carry their redemption. You no longer inherit their fear, You inherit their unfinished divine assignments. You no longer repeat their cycles, you break them. Heaven seals you so that future generations will bless your name without knowing the battles you fought to free them. Your victory becomes their inheritance. Now listen carefully. Prophetic sealing is heaven's announcement that you can no longer return to who you were. The old identity is gone. The old limitations are gone. The old fears are gone. The old patterns are gone. You have crossed a spiritual threshold. You have been claimed by your calling, and as heaven seals you, a final activation takes place, an activation that ignites your destiny with irreversible force. You will walk differently, think differently, move differently, attract differently, manifest differently. Because you are no longer walking as who you were, you are walking as who you were anointed to be. Chosen one, your sealing is complete, your mantle is awakened, and now heaven is releasing you into the fullness of your destiny. Chosen one. As this message comes to a close, let your spirit receive this truth with reverence. You are not stepping into wealth someday, you are standing in the doorway of it now. Heaven has already declared your kairos moment, your divinely appointed season of elevation, breakthrough, and supernatural transfer. What has been held back is being released. What once resisted you is yielding. What was written over your destiny is awakening with power. Anointed one, you have not walked an ordinary path, and you will not receive an ordinary blessing. The mantle of abundance, legacy, and divine stewardship rests upon you. Go forward with faith. Walk with expectancy. Stay aligned with the one who called you. Every step you take from this moment on is guided, protected, and empowered. I speak prophetic blessing over your hands, your mind, your purpose, and your lineage. May doors open before you with ease. May wealth recognize your name. May favor follow you without hesitation, and may your destiny manifest exactly as heaven designed it. If this word reached you in perfect timing, type 111 in the comments as a declaration of alignment. And if you feel led, subscribe and stay connected. Your journey into divine abundance has only just begun.